hello, hello. Hi, everyone. Hola. Hola a todos. Bienvenidos a un nuevo en vivo. How's it going, guys? I hope you're doing well. Today, we are going to learn about 10 different Spanish expressions using the Spanish verb hablar. Hablar. So before we get started, don't forget to subscribe and also click on the bell icon so you can get notified every time I live stream. And if you like what I do, please just give this video a like, of course. And I want to give a big shout out to our members, to our Cafecito members, Raymond Sather, William Lopez, David Beaver, and KS. Thank you, guys. The coffee is delicious. The support is greatly appreciated as well. And if you want to support this channel, you can also get a membership on this channel. You only need to click on the join button down below. And there are some perks when getting a membership. So just check that out. Just click on the join button down below. Okay, so I see Maria Grazia Boccolini. Welcome, Maria. Hoy vamos a hablar de hablar. Qué gusto comunicar. Hola, profesora, y saludos a todos desde Italia. Welcome, Maria. Bienvenida. And thank you for just stopping by and saying hola. Espero que estés muy bien, Maria. And once again, welcome. Okay, so we're going to learn about just 10 Spanish expressions. They're very commonly used, so they're very important to learn if you're serious about Spanish. If you really want to learn Spanish, you need to know these 10 expressions because they're, as I said before, they're commonly used, and it's very likely that you're gonna hear these expressions if you're speaking or if you're talking to a Spanish speaker. Okay, so first of all, do you know what hablar means? Hablar means to speak or to talk. And it's very important to know the conjugation of this verb if you want to use it, of course. So we're not going to talk about conjugation. We're not going to talk about anything other than just expressions. 10 expressions, okay? So once again, hablar means to speak or to talk. So that's pretty easy. The first expression is hablar alto. Hablar alto. And you're probably thinking, why are we using alto here? Well, this is just an expression, a common expression. Hablar alto refers to speak loudly. When you're speaking loudly, okay? Or loud or loudly, or when you're speaking up, okay? When you're, when you're just saying things out loud in a very loud way. So let's just see an example. So, tienes que hablar alto. Tienes que hablar alto. And this means you must speak loud or you must speak up, if you need to speak up, if you're like mumbling and saying something and people are not understanding what you're saying, then that person might say, tienes que hablar alto, habla alto, okay? So that means just raise your voice, just speak loud, speak up, and so on. So this is a very common phrase, common expression. And of course, you need to know the conjugation of this verb if you want to use any of the expressions that we are gonna learn today. Okay, so that was the first one, guys. Hablar alto. Yo hablo alto. Miguel habla alto. Tienes que hablar alto. You must speak loud. Okay, loudly. Okay, the next one, guys. The next one is hablar bajo. Hablar bajo. So this is the opposite of hablar alto. Hablar alto, you need to speak up, right? You need to pretty much just say what you're thinking in a very loud voice. Hablar bajo is the opposite. You need to speak quietly, okay? Or just almost like whispering, okay? Hablar bajo, to speak quietly. For example, you could say, habla bajo porque el bebé está durmiendo. Habla bajo porque el bebé está durmiendo. And this means speak quietly because the baby is sleeping. So this is a very common situation where you have a baby sleeping and you don't want that baby to wake up, to be loud. So that's why, you want to speak quietly. So this phrase or this expression is pretty useful for that. If you want to speak quietly, or if you want someone to speak quietly, you can use this phrase, hablar bajo. Hablar bajo. Hablar alto, hablar bajo. Okay, so far so good. The next one, guys, is, this one is expression number 3, hablar claro. Hablar claro. Okay, so we were talking about hablar alto, hablar bajo. Now we're talking about hablar claro. Claro. And this means to speak frankly or bluntly, okay? If you want someone to just say whatever they need to say, you can say hablar claro. It's also used if you want, if you need someone to speak clear, because maybe, once again, they're mumbling, you're not understanding what the person is saying, so you can use this phrase as well. But remember, it also means to speak frankly or to speak bluntly, right? I see Michael Wellen in the house, Randall Collins as well. Hola chicos, bienvenidos sean. And of course, as I was saying, hablar claro means speak frankly, bluntly, and so on. For example, you could say, no te entiendo, no te entiendo. Habla claro, habla claro. No te entiendo, habla claro. This means I don't understand you. Speak frankly or speak clear as well, because you're just not understanding what the person is saying, or you just want the person to tell you whatever they need, okay? Just tell me what you need, just straight to the point. Just tell me what do you want. Of course, this is not a rude expression. You just want someone to just spill the tea, spill the tea. Just tell me what's going on. Just habla claro. Speak frankly, bluntly. Hello, Cowboy Troy. Another great lesson. Thank you. You're welcome, Cowboy Troy. Bienvenido. Okay, so that was phrase number 3 or expression number 3. Now, hablar de. Hablar de. This is a very, very easy expression, and it only means to talk about, okay? So if you need to talk about something, you need to say hablar de. Hablar de. For example, you can say, necesitamos hablar del problema. Necesitamos hablar del problema. This means we need to talk about the problem, any problem, of course. So maybe you're wondering, why do we have del instead of de, right? We have an extra letter here. So you probably know this, but when you have a masculine noun and the word de, you need to kind of fuse de and the article el. And instead of saying de el problema, we're saying del problema, okay? So this is something common in Spanish. Just let me show you. Okay, so what I mean is we have hablar de, okay? So we need to use the article el, the definite article el. It's also masculine. And in Spanish, instead of saying hablar de el problema, we kind of get rid of this letter and we have one word, del problema, okay? That's why we have del instead of de, okay? If I want to say something like, necesitamos hablar de la lección. Okay, so that's a feminine noun, de la lección, lesson, lección, lesson. So we don't have to do anything here. We can keep the article la because it's feminine. You don't have to merge it with the other word de. So that's a big difference there. I don't know if you knew this, but it's a thing in Spanish. So necesitamos hablar del problema. We need to talk about the problem. Okay, so very straightforward. Hablar de means to talk about. Rundle Collins asks, how would you say I'm talking in Spanish? I'm talking, estoy hablando. That's how you say it. Estoy hablando. So yeah, that's pretty easy. Very quickly, estoy hablando. Just gonna show you that here. Estoy hablando means I'm talking. So don't interrupt me. I'm talking. Estoy hablando. No me interrumpas. So I don't know why. I mean, maybe you want to say something else after I'm talking. But yeah, essentially, I'm talking. You can say estoy hablando. Okay? So that's expression number 4, guys. Remember, we have only 10 expressions. So the next one is hablar hasta por los codos. So this one is long. Hablar hasta por los codos. Hablar hasta por los codos. So this one is funny because you're pretty much saying to talk or to speak. Like even you're using your elbows to speak. Because you have so much to say. That's pretty much what you're saying. So to talk way too much. That's what this phrase means. It's similar to that. When someone is constantly talking and being loud and they just don't shut up, you can use this phrase for that. Obviously, be careful because some people might get offended. But essentially, you're saying that someone is just talking way too much, okay? So you're kind of complaining about this person or whatever person who's talking a lot. So, for example, you could say, or you could hear this phrase, Miguel habla hasta por los codos. Miguel habla hasta por los codos. And this means Miguel talks way too much. Okay, so this is a very long phrase or expression, but it's a very common one when you want to express that someone is too loud or someone is just talking too much. Okay, so this one is one of my favorite ones, by the way. Rondell, I was just giving you an example. I didn't mean to say to you that you were interrupting. No way. I'm just saying because I'm talking. Sounds like someone is a little angry because, I'm talking. Just don't interrupt me. So that's what I thought you were trying to say, but I'm just kidding. Of course, you're not interrupting. You don't need to apologize. You can ask any question. related to what we're learning, of course, or anything related to Spanish whenever you want. That's why I live stream. That's why we have the live chat there. So no need to apologize, Rondell. It's all good. KS is in the house. Hello, KS. Bienvenido. Welcome. Okay, so the next expression, guys, expression number 6, hablar por teléfono. Hablar por teléfono. Ring, ring. And this means to call someone, you know, you're using your phone to call someone, or to be on the phone. So you could say, necesito hablar por teléfono. That means I need to call someone, right? Necesito hablar por teléfono. Or estoy hablando por el teléfono. That means I'm on the phone, okay? Estoy hablando por el teléfono. Yeah, so, sorry. So, yes, as I said, this is the meaning, and an example is this one right here. María está hablando por teléfono. María está hablando por teléfono. And this means Maria is on the phone. So she's busy. She's busy. She's on the phone. María está hablando por teléfono. Or you could say, estoy hablando por teléfono. I'm on the phone. You know, if you want someone to know that, you can say that, of course. So this is another common expression to say when you are busy on the phone, you know, you're talking to someone. And yeah, you can use this phrase for that, to say either to call someone or to be on the phone. Let's say, you could say, for example, voy a hablarte por teléfono. Voy a hablarte por teléfono. And this means I'm going to call you. Okay? You're just gonna call someone. Voy a hablarte por teléfono. I'm gonna call you, or I'm going to call you. Okay? So that's how you use this phrase in two different ways: to call someone, to be on the phone. So it's a bit flexible. Essentially, you're saying that you're going to use the phone to call, or you're just on the phone. Okay, so that was expression number 6. Now the next one, expression number 7, quien habla? ¿Quién habla? This is another phrase, a very useful phrase if you're on the phone. Again, if you want to ask who's calling. We should do a lesson about that. We should have a lesson about how to do the whole calling in Spanish. You know, when you need to call, oh man, it's a whole thing. And I think we should do that. That's gonna be another lesson. Yeah, for sure. A really good lesson, actually. Okay, ¿quién habla? ¿Quién habla? Who's calling? ¿Quién habla? So there are different ways to answer the phone. You can say bueno, 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 bueno. Some people say aló, aló. Okay, that's in South America, usually they say aló. In Mexico, they say bueno, bueno. And in Spain, I'm not sure. They probably say bueno as well. I'm not sure. Some people say hola. Okay, hola. So it depends. It depends on the situation, of course. But if you answer the phone and say bueno, ¿quién habla? Bueno, ¿quién habla? That means hello, who's calling? You know, who's this? You're pretty much asking, who's the person calling? Who are you? Who's calling? So yes, that's very, very good. I like this. Well, it's just a common expression, nothing special. But yeah, ¿quién habla? Means who's calling. Good, good. Okay, so expression number 8, hablar solo, hablar solo. And this means to talk to oneself. when you're just talking to yourself. And this one, I mean, it happens. It happens. For example, here's an example. No me hagas caso. Estoy hablando sola. Sola is the feminine form of solo. Solo, you're pretty much saying solo, lonely, or alone. That's what it means, solo. In this situation, this means oneself, you know, or myself. It depends on the situation. If I'm saying estoy hablando sola, this means I'm talking to myself. You know, I'm just talking to myself. Don't mind me. No me hagas caso is similar to don't mind me. Estoy hablando sola. I'm talking to myself. Okay? So, hablar solo. Hablar solo. It happens. It happens for sure. Okay. Michael Welling says, diga in Spain, I think. Yes. I think you're correct. Diga. Yeah. That's another way to answer the phone, for sure. Thank you, Michael. Okay, so this one, hablar solo, to talk to oneself. And some people might say, oh, estás loco. But no, I mean, it's common to talk to oneself, to talk to yourself, right? It's common. It's very common. Okay, so the next one is ni hablar. Ni hablar. Ni hablar. Okay? No way. Not a chance. Especially if you want to say that's not going to happen. You're crazy. No, no way. Okay? So ni hablar, that's the function of that phrase. For example, you could have a short conversation where someone is telling you, me prestas dinero, me prestas dinero. And you can say, ni hablar. No. If you don't have money, well, you can say, ni hablar. If you want to be very expressive about saying, I'm not gonna lend you any money, you can say, ni hablar. But yeah, me prestas dinero means, can you lend me money? Okay. And ni hablar, no way. Okay. No, ni hablar. So that could be anything, you know, it's not about money. It could be about anything else that you disagree with or that you don't want to do. Okay. So you can say ni hablar. Ni hablar. No way. Not a chance. So that's another expression using the verb hablar. And lastly, guys, we have one more. This is a common one as well. And this is hablas en serio. ¿Hablas en serio? You need to give some, you know, you need to show some, how do you say this? Some feelings, you know, the drama. You need to feel some drama there. Hablas en serio. The word is expressive. You need to be expressive. Hablas en serio. And this means, are you serious? Okay. Are you serious? Hablas en serio. And an example. ¿Estás bromeando o hablas en serio? ¿Estás bromeando o hablas en serio? And this means, are you joking or are you serious? Okay. So you just want to, you can use this phrase if you can't believe what someone is saying and you're like, are you serious? Or are you joking? What's going on? So, ¿hablas en serio? Are you serious about what you're saying? Okay. So, obviously you can change this. For example, if you're with a group of people, you can say, ¿hablan en serio? If they're saying something crazy, of course. You're just saying, are you guys serious? Okay. So remember that you can conjugate the Spanish, the verb hablar in all these expressions just keep that in mind. And obviously, hablar is a very common Spanish verb. And do you know the conjugation of this verb? So yeah, all of these expressions, yeah. So you need to know the conjugation of the Spanish verb hablar. Hablar, and again, hablar means to speak or to talk. Okay, so yeah, that's quite interesting. I think my favorite one was this one, hablar hasta por los codos, when someone is talking way too much. And I've used this one. Yeah, I've used this one many times before, and it's a good one. It's a good one. Okay, guys, do you have any questions about what we learned today? Do you want to share some examples? Okay, yes, says, hablar con usted mismo se considera loco. Well, I don't think so, okay, yes. Depends. I think it depends. If you're constantly talking to yourself and no one else, maybe. I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know, guys. So any questions, guys? Do you remember any of these phrases? Hablar bajo, hablar alto, hablar hasta por los codos. ¿Quién habla? ¿Hablas en serio? So we learned 10 different ones, guys. So yeah, there's so many more. There's so many more. But today we just learned 10. I didn't want to tell you too many, or just to talk about too many expressions, because it might get confusing. So, okay. Michael Welling. Okay. María says, pero hablar consigo mismo en otro idioma no es una tontería, no es una locura, sino una tarea. Yes, I agree. I agree, Maria, because that's a very good way to learn or to practice another language. When you talk to yourself, when you're just talking and practicing pronunciation and just saying, you're just having a conversation with yourself. I think that's a good idea. That's actually very helpful. That's how I did that when learning English. When I was learning English, I was just talking and just practicing my pronunciation and having a conversation with no one, just myself. But yeah, it's a good thing to do if you want to practice your pronunciation, your Spanish pronunciation, for sure. So yeah, I agree, Maria. Michael Welling, llamar por teléfono o hablar por teléfono. Both are the same, Michael. You can use both. Llamar por teléfono, voy a llamar por teléfono. But if you're saying, for example, Miguel está hablando por teléfono, that's a better way to say Miguel is on the phone. Okay? Because if you say Miguel está llamando por teléfono, it's like he just picked up the phone and he's just dialing the number. Okay? When you're saying hablar por teléfono, it's more like you're having already a conversation going on, okay, on the phone. Llamar is more like, dialing. But yeah, that's great. Great question, Michael. K Semi-Nomadic, gracias. Aprendí una nueva expresión. Hablar hasta por los codos. Yes, that's a great one, Kay, and welcome. Yes, that's one of my favorite expressions. As I said before, it's just funny because you're just talking way too much, even through your elbows. So that's something funny for sure. Que yes, cada transmisión en vivo aprendo algo nuevo. Hablar en serio es favorito. ¿Hablas en serio? Yeah, that's a good one, KS, for sure. Thank you for sharing. Okay, guys. You're welcome, Michael. And yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for being here, guys, once again. And thank you for learning some Spanish today. I think that's something good. That's something good. You're learning more Spanish, and that's great, guys. That's amazing. Remember, if you're not subscribed, please do so, because that helps this channel. And also, if you want to get notified every time I live stream, you can just click on that bell notification thing, and you're gonna get notified by YouTube whenever I live stream. But I usually do this every Tuesday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. So now you know. Maybe you knew already. I'm just saying it again just in case. And remember that we have a Spanish community on Discord. So if you want to join this community, it's for free, and you only need to click on the link in the video description down below. And it's free, guys. We have so far, I think, 16 members, so that's pretty cool. Remember, if you're a member, please just feel free to share any tips that can help others when, to learn Spanish. And also just share anything. If you want to practice your Spanish, you can do that there. I'm part of that community as well. So you can see me online most of the time. And you can chat with me and others about Spanish. That's free, guys. Just click on the join button. Just click on the link to that in the video description. Also, yeah, you can click on the join button if you want to know more about the membership that I have on this channel. It's just, you're pretty much buying me coffee, because I love coffee so much. And that's another way to support this channel as well. And remember to give this video a like if you liked it. And that's it, guys. Have a great evening, afternoon, morning, wherever you are. Take care of yourself and be safe. I'll see you next time. Adios, chicos. Bye-bye. Adios.